Hi, this is the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival and the training video for using the Eventive system with Zoom for the Q&A. Everything happens or starts to happen 30 minutes prior to the scheduled start for the Q&A session, when we just start the Zoom. You must start the Zoom as a host. There's a number of things that only the host is able to do. So from this point, it's to allow filmmakers to come in. We say 15 minutes minimum before the start, to test audio levels, the video, to get some engagement with the moderator and basically go over the rules and what we expect to happen, etc., etc. So it's basically sit here for up to 15 minutes, we hopefully a little bit sooner than that. Okay, so at that point, in come the filmmakers. Good morning, Mr. Bear, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. At this point, you hope that the moderator is in so they can continue the dialogue. The next thing that happens is 15 minutes prior to the scheduled start time, when you must start the streaming process up. So in order to do that, on this Zoom session here, we have a button that says More. We click on More, and that allows us to broadcast the Zoom session to various places. We are interested in this fourth one, live on custom live streaming service. If you don't have that, you have to go into Zoom and configure it to allow that option. That's not standard, so you need to configure it in the Zoom. So we click on this, and it will bring up a window here asking for 3 items. The streaming URL, this is an RTMP feed. This is the streaming key, it's always the same in our case, which is default. And the live streaming page URL, this is what the audience is watching. Okay, so let's see how we set these things up. We go to the Eventive dashboard. We go into the virtual festival. We're under a, this is our bucket, event bucket. This is a test bucket, obviously. We go to the virtual festival, and we see that we have a number of items here. We're using this one here, Eventive training video. So we, the first of all, we edit, and we go into the live streaming hub. You can also go get to the live streaming hub by clicking virtual festival and click on this item here, live streaming hub. So we manage, this is the Eventive training stream. We go there, manage live streams. The streams are not started. We select basic and we start streaming. This will take 3 to 5 minutes to start. So during that time we have other things to do. So let's go back to the virtual festival. We view. What we need is the watch window. This is the window that the audience is viewing. And in fact, this is set up from the moment you schedule the event, so you can copy and paste this in advance if you want to. The danger is if you have it on a database of all the live watch windows, if you take the wrong one, then this event and that event is messed up. So if we click the live button here, we can see what the audience is, the page audience is looking at. So this is what's called the watch window. It tells this is where they would enter the film, they can pay for the film, watch it, and they'll watch the live stream on the same page. Up here we have a URL. You can't quite see it, but we're going to copy that, and we're going to take that, and this is what goes in here. I said the second thing is the streaming key, which is default. It's always the same. And this, we need the RTMP feed. So we go back into the virtual festival live streaming hub, and the Eventive training session has now started, and it gives you 4 RTMP feeds. The bottom 2 are secure feeds. These are not secure feeds. We don't need a secure feed, so we can just take the first RTMP feed. So we select it, copy it, move to our back end and paste it in. Now critically here, do not hit the live button. The live button From the point you hit the live button, everything that is said in this session is live. So you don't want to hit that until the designated time. Okay, coming back to the Zoom window, we're now ready to go. As a producer, the moderator is presumably in by now, maybe multiple filmmakers in now, and you can stop your video. So you're now in the background. Now the critical thing is, as a producer, you should always be on the Zoom session, shouldn't leave. There is a chance that the moderator's connection goes bad, their internet bails out, they get a power outage, or just simply their audio is terrible. In which case what we need to do is be able to step back in and take charge of the event in those circumstances. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We leave, from this point on, we leave the unmuted because as a producer you'll be doing the countdown to tell them when to start. The moment you click go live, the session is available to view by the audience. So as a producer, the easiest thing to do is do an audio countdown. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go countdown, go live, and then we're going to ask our video production lighting person to turn on a light behind Dr. Bear here to give him a little bit more light. So I will be audible on just so you can see how quickly the go live takes into account. So the first thing when I go live is I will say to the lighting director to turn on the light. Okay, so ordinarily we would do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, live. Okay, Alexa, light on. Alexa, light.
Wow, light.
So I got the name of the lighting director wrong, but here we have Dr. Bear now in session with our moderator. We should now mute ourselves, and what we now do is go back to the Eventive dashboard, and in this live streaming hub, again if you don't know how to get there, just click live streaming hub, manage live stream, because in the same window is the chat box. You can open this in a new tab. What we need to make sure is we do have the chat on here. Let's bring that back to a smaller screen. So now we have the chat here, we have the chat on the Eventive system. You probably want to change this to the moderator, so only our moderator sees the questions coming in. Now, once the session gets started, or even before the session gets started, you can send messages to the audience to try and engage and create some engagement. So for example, we might say, welcome to the festival. As soon as they log on, they'll see these messages. Tell them it's being recorded and where to see the information, and possibly tell them to submit their questions. During the chat session, there may be questions that come in from the audience that do not need to go to our moderator. For example, is this being recorded? We've already answered that one, but if someone asks that question, we can submit the answer. People might say, how long will this go for? And you say 45 minutes, roughly, and you know, so you can have engagement. Occasionally, you want to move the question across to the moderator, but again, not every single question, so they're not overwhelmed. He's trying to have a conversation. You want to send him the most pertinent, him or her, the most pertinent questions. So, for example, if we have one coming in that says, what is Dr. Bear's or Mr. Bear's favourite film, assuming that came in from an audience member, we can copy, select it, copy, put it in here, send it only to the moderator, paste it in here, so the moderator will see a selected number of questions. So that's the process. So you're using the two screens at this point. Now what we'll do is at the end of the session, as the moderator, you'll be the last one in, so everybody leaves the event, which means that only the producer's video or session is running, and as there's no video associated with the producer, the audience will see a black screen with the Newburyport Documentary Film Festival name written on the back. That's slightly more friendly than having a freeze frame on the last facial expression from the moderator or the filmmakers, so it's a little bit more elegant on the way out. But once it's all done, then you will end the session. End meeting for all. And we come back, we haven't finished yet, we will come back here, come into the Eventive dashboard, maybe say thank you to the audience members or the participants. And we've got to stop the streaming. We are still streaming, so we must stop that streaming. That will take another 4 or 5 minutes to take hold. So we'll pause the recording. Okay, we're back recording. That was about 3 minutes, and we can see that the live streaming has ended. It stopped. We're fine. If we wanted to, the recording will now be available to the audience. If you wanted to look at that, you go to the virtual festival. The Eventive training video is the one we're looking at, and we can look at the view live. We can see this is the watch window. We're interested in the live stream. You can watch the film as well, but the live stream. So the end of the live stream. Now you notice that here again, that's my error in using the wrong word for Alexa. But you see that here very much it was, we'll pause here. So we can see that basically as soon as I hit the live button, maybe there's a gap of about 1 second, maybe 2 seconds at the very most, between the word live and it being available to the this stream will be up forever on the same watch window. They can come back anytime. The film will probably not be available because it will have an availability window, but the Q&A will always be available. You can download the Q&A session as a separate video file, and that will cost you $20. If you do that, you can put it into iMovie, or you can put it into Wondershare or some other video editing facility. Chop off any poor bits. Eventive say they're going to have a clipping tool, but if you've got a video editing tool, you can clean it up, put a front end on it, put it onto YouTube, give it to the directors so they can use it to promote their film, whatever you want to do. So that is the end of the session, and thank you for listening.